Bugs, bugs, and more bugs, but no bunny. Today, we're taking a look at all the bugs and some things wrong with the GTA Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. If it were up to me, I would call bug stars, you know, the exterminators from Grand Theft Auto, but the only problem is they were taken out in GTA 5 so that we could take their outfits and do some heists. So it looks like we're out of luck with the bugs right now. If you're on PC like myself, the Rockstar launcher is down and you can't even play the Trilogy Definitive Edition. So it's been a little rough. And instead of being angry about it, I thought to myself, well, what can I do? And even though GroveStreetGames has brought this game or these games back to life, in using my platform, I wanted to bring some of these errors, these bugs, these glitches, and things to light in hopes that maybe somebody who works for GroveStreetGames will see this and it might be something that wasn't on their radar before. So again, I paid for these games just like you did as well. The only difference is I'm choosing not to be frustrated about it simply because we're human, we're not perfect, and we don't know what went on behind the scenes to cause some of these issues. No doubt they will get fixed in due time. But for now, let's take a look into them. And before we do that though, if you're new to the channel, feel free to join by hitting that clucking bell, turning on notifications, that way you don't miss out, and also by giving this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. I'll wait. Thank y'all so much. The support in yesterday's video was insane. First up, we have the Ghost Bridge. So what exactly is this? Well, in Flint County, there is a river that runs through, and there's a bridge that's supposed to be there, and it is there. The only problem is sometimes when you come to this location, it disappears as you're going over it. It's almost like that clip from the Indiana Jones movie where the bridge is there, but it doesn't look like it. So you got to take the leap of faith and just go over it, and that's what happens. But again, this Ghost Bridge is what it's being coined in the community. This is a bug that's going on there. It pops in and out whenever it wants to. I am just thankful that you don't actually fall through and that there is some sort of collision there to keep you from doing that. Now, while we're on the topic of no collisions, there actually is a spot in GTA 3's Liberty City that has no collisions, and this is on the Portland Borough, and in the specific area, if you're driving and you don't know about this, well, you are accidentally going to find out that you can fall through the map, and hopefully you're not on a mission, or hopefully you weren't when you found this out. Hopefully this video serves as some sort of guide for you to heed this warning to watch out when you're in Portland, or you are going to go flying way under the map, which if you're not in a mission, it's kind of cool to look around for a second as you fall. Next up, let's talk about the NPCs. So yes, we've already established that some NPCs look great and some characters don't, or NPCs, character models, same thing as what I'm referring to here. So anyways, in Grove Street, there is a Grove Street Families member, and on the jersey, matter of fact, on all the jerseys with numbers, you can see that there's individual numbers, but if you look closely, you can see behind it in the color green, same as the jersey, the number 7, and it's on the front and the back. And the reason for this is because in San Andreas, every NPC jersey had the number 7 on it, but in the Definitive Edition, it's been updated to individual different numbers. So some might say 5, 7, you get the point there. But the thing is, behind it, you can see that number 7, and it's behind every single number. Or excuse me, instead of 5 and 7, it would be like 5 and 9, but behind it, you can see the 7. So that's an error there, minor detail, but a lot of fans have actually noticed this. Number 4, let's talk about some typos. So this is a minor error, but it has been noted. So in the original Vice City, there's a business called Screamin' Collins Guitars, and that same business front exists in Vice City, only this time around, there is a typo on the glass window for the storefront, and it's supposed to say Air Guitars, A-I-R, but the typo is A-R Guitars. So they left out the I in Air Guitars, and this is something I think could probably be patched up pretty easy, but that's typo number 1. I've already mentioned this typo on the channel in a separate video. However, I'm just going to mention it here briefly. In the intro to Vice City, the Definitive Edition, the Welcome to Vice City sign in the background originally had the E omitted from it, so there was a typo in welcome, but that was actually patched yesterday in the day 1 release officially everywhere, so that's why I believe these typos can be fixed. Now, the second typo, though, that I do want to discuss is a billboard that says "Come first every time" in GTA San Andreas. And the typo here is, well, I don't know if it's necessarily a typo, but it looks like the image is too big for the billboard. So the E is cut off in time. So it says "Come first every Tim." So every Tim watching this video, y'all please just come first. Come to the front of the line here and I'll give you an autograph. Okay, perfect. But jokes aside though, those are the typos there. And obviously, like I said, because Rockstar did patch, or GroveStreetGames did patch the "Welcome to Vice City" typo, these can also be updated as well, I would think. So I almost forgot to mention this one, but on the topic of no collisions that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there is no collisions, or at least there wasn't initially, in the ammunitions in Liberty City, meaning when you go in there, you're already at a weird camera angle, like it's from a security camera, but also you could just walk right through and you're going to be falling through the map again, much like you were in the Portland area with your car, or in that grassy area. So watch out if you go into the ammunitions. Again, this one might have been updated already, but I play on the PC, and Rockstar removed the definitive edition from the Rockstar launcher. It's down, and unfortunately I cannot play at the moment. Okay, this next one is a big one. Number 6, Rain. We've got to talk about the Rain. So aside from Vice City, I feel like GroveStreetGames went a little extra ham on Vice City because, dang, that city is beautiful. The water, the skies, everything about it. It's just vibrant old Vice City. But as for San Andreas, that whole state, obviously including Las Venturas, Los Santos, and San Fierro, and Grand Theft Auto 3 and Liberty City, the rain is an issue here. So first off, if you haven't noticed in the background, if you've been over the water or you can see that far, the rain almost falls behind the horizon. So like, what's up with that? It sticks out like a sore thumb. But aside from that, the rain itself is like shards of glass, like literal shards of glass coming out of the sky. And like, it doesn't look bad if there wasn't so much of it. Like, it's insane. 50 caliber bullets just flying down, raining down upon you, literally. So if the rain was lightened up a bit, I feel like that would make a huge difference. Matter of fact, I don't feel like it. I know it would. So if you're concerned about the rain, hey, we all are. But hopefully someone over at GroveStreetGames, maybe at Rockstar, happens to be seeing this video. I don't know what the odds of that are. But again, these minor errors, that's all. We'll just get those corrected and move on. It seems to be that simple, right? Now, this next bug isn't anything too big at all. Matter of fact, I considered omitting it from the video, but it's still something that a few of you fans have noticed while playing around the game, among many other things. One of these is a helicopter literally flying under the map. A user came across this and was able to capture this, and that's pretty comical. What kind of crazy things have you seen, though, while playing the definitive edition? That's why this one here, in particular, you might not see any helicopters under the map. You might get chopped up by the blades accidentally, but aside from that, what kind of bugs have you seen? Because this one specifically, I feel like for each player, it might be a different kind of bug. You might see a helicopter under the map. You might see a car flying in the sky. And speaking of cars flying in the sky, this ain't the future and this ain't the Jetsons, but in Grand Theft Auto 3, while driving around, you can sometimes come across those flying cars. Now, I cannot recall, I feel like this was in the original Grand Theft Auto 3 as well, but again, I can't recall 100%, so either way, it is in the definitive edition, and you could be, like I said, just cruising around and all of a sudden see a flying car, but I promise you, don't bat an eye. That's just a bug. Enjoy it, because this one's pretty cool. Just to see this car just floating around as you're driving around Liberty City. And among many other glitches in the game, there seems to be some just with a lot of the missions bugging out. In one of the initial missions for Denise, CJ's girlfriend in San Andreas, after dropping her off, you never pass the mission. It just goes on forever, no matter how much time you allow to go on, or if you spawn in cheats, or just sit there and wait. So that's a bug that's going on there. Another one happens to be in the mission All Hands on Deck. In Vice City, some fans have encountered a problem where the mission just doesn't pass and you get stuck on the boat and there's nothing you can do about it. Even restarting, you still have the same error. So you're essentially frozen in the game unless somehow you restart. So what I would advise is after every mission that you do a quick save, do a manual save aside from the auto save. Just get a few of those. That way, if you have to go back at some point, this might eliminate the chances of having to start all the way over, especially if you're a bit further on in the game. All right, well, those are some bugs that you may or may not have encountered yet in Grand Theft Auto's Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. If you haven't encountered any of those, have you encountered any that I didn't mention? If so, let me know down below in the comments. Again, you know, I always say you can't have expectations, or you can't get let down if you don't have expectations. I am playing these games for what they are, when I can, of course, because I played these games back when they first came out. Back when the graphics in these games looked like the graphics that we see today in Red Dead Redemption 2, because that was all that was around back then. So anyways, if you learned something new or just enjoyed the video, be sure to click thumbs up, join the channel by subscribing, and, well, I hope to see y'all in the next episode tomorrow.